The academic portfolio can also be used for engaging with the dialogic process. And the academic portfolio is a self-evaluative mechanism which has an internal focus for the reflective practitioner, focusing on learning and assessment. And therefore it's very deliberate and systematic in its process. The reflective practitioner has an attention on focusing towards teaching, and also on research skills in terms of reflecting on experiences in the classroom. And this focus is very different to things like dialogic writing. The academic portfolio is an evolving collection of experiences and experiments over time, and therefore it is very much about the teacher not only reflecting but taking a metacognitive stance on their practice, appraising not only how but why they are learning and teaching from their experience. And so there are certain benefits that we can consider in terms of an academic portfolio for dialogic reflection. There's potential for an increased understanding of how we're learning and what are the learning outcomes from reflection, and also about what we're not learning and what we're not developing. And with increased understanding, we're able to explore what aspects of our work and our professional role that we do value, and the role in learning how to articulate in writing those values and our understanding of those values. Another benefit of the academic portfolio is there's a potential for an increased understanding of how others view the work that we do, what their ideas are about our professional role. And there's an enhanced ability to make connections between experiences and the theories that we know, so that the boundaries that exist for us as teachers can be expanded and therefore improve learning. It's an opportunity to make connections between what we've experienced on courses and formal courses, and with the experiences and the research, the experimentation that we undertake in the classroom. And another very useful benefit of the academic portfolio is that there is, for the reflective practitioner, an increased sense of learning over time, of development, progressing and evolving. And what you should consider including in an academic portfolio then are useful evidences that you can use for not only reflecting but evidencing your reflecting and monitoring your progression. Any sort of documentation of the process of reflection or the processes of your work, things like lesson plans and materials, as well as written reflections. There can be commentaries in there, almost like discussing mathematical problems. You can discuss experiences in the classroom. It also evolves over time, like a speech on paper, and there's a history to it. You'll be able to look back months and see the progression of your learning and the journey that you've been on. And what we need to consider then is the certain processes involved in constructing an academic portfolio. Firstly, we have to consider what we're actually collecting in terms of materials to include in the portfolio. These materials should enable us to explore and to reflect, not just inclusions for the sake of putting them in the academic portfolio. And therefore we need to select those materials quite carefully, because part of creating a portfolio is to consider who will read it and who will benefit from it and the purposes for which they'll be reading. And then, of course, we need to understand that the academic portfolio is a tool for reflection. And therefore, we need to make sure that the inclusions are there to help us learn and to develop our teaching, and are simply part of the research of experience that we engage with. And so, finally, the academic portfolio should be a mechanism that contains materials that enable us to make connections between different aspects of our professional role. And so, the academic portfolio is a long-term piece of evidence. It's a living material that grows and develops over time along with the reflective practitioner. New items can be added and others can be dropped as the document evolves.